I got another Bible study for us. It's in Exodus 16, 3 through 4, I think. It starts out by saying, it says, Exodus 16:3. If only the Lord had killed us back in Egypt, they moaned. There we sat around pots of meat and ate all the bread that we wanted. But now you have brought us to this wilderness to starve us to death. So right away, God has led them out of their comforts and into the unknown. And they were thinking for themselves that they were worse off than in their captivity. And that's how we act when God calls us to a place where we have no idea how to survive. We let our own logic and independence and people's opinions dictate what is good for our lives. We fail to trust God because He's not answering fast enough, or we still got our hands on it, and God is waiting for us to exhaust all human efforts. Numbers 14 2 through 3, it says, the Israelites protested against Moses and Aaron. Can you imagine being a leader that God has called to be obedient, not knowing where you're going or what you're going to be doing, and having the responsibility for lots of other people as well? It had to be kind of nerve-wracking. um, in Exodus 17:3, it says, but tormented by their thirst they continued to argue with Moses, saying, we and our livestock and children are all thirsty. Did God bring us here to die? Moses prayed to God, and God gave him instructions to strike the rock with the cane, and water would gush out. Moses named that place the test because they tested God by saying, is the Lord with us or not? Sounds all too familiar. You ever been tormented by what you want and can't seem to get God to move on it? In a place we know God has called us to and there's no progress, we just feel stuck. Uncertain of the direction God is taking us, or questioning God's promises can leave us feeling abandoned and forgotten. Meanwhile, we don't realize we are being tested. We will grumble and keep searching for answers, or we will choose real faith. Will we die to ourselves and wait patiently upon the Lord? Exodus 16:4. Then the Lord said to Moses, look, I'm going to rain down food from heaven for you. Each day the people can go out and pick up as much as they want for the day. I will test them in this to see if they will obey my instructions. Psalms 105:40. They asked for meat, and he sent them quail. He satisfied their hunger with manna from heaven. This is the spiritual food for us, which satisfies. Its communion with God. We have the Holy Spirit. Nehemiah 9:15-21 says this: you gave them bread for their hunger straight out of heaven, and brought water for them from out of the rock. And you told them to enter into and take possession of the land that you swore to give to them. But our fathers, acted arrogantly. They stiffened their necks and would not heed to your commandments. They refused to listen and obey, and did not remember the miracles God did. So in the rebellion, they appointed a leader to lead them back to the slavery. But you are a God of forgiveness, gracious and merciful and compassionate, slow to anger and abounding in loving kindness. And you did not abandon them, they abandoned you. This is very important to note here, that the Holy Spirit is trying to have a relationship with us. He's trying to teach us His ways with loving kindness. He's trying to renew our hearts and our minds so that He becomes the only one we look to for security and provisions. He wants to be your rock and your shield. So maybe So maybe you are feeling stuck in the place you are and you don't understand, you don't have any understanding. Have you considered that you haven't fully trusted God yet? Maybe what you consider faith isn't faith at all. Are you waking up every day fully trusting God for all your needs, regardless of what the day brings? Or are you holding on, trying to have faith on the basis that God is progressing? The latter is not faith. So, God has your provision in front of your face, but you can't see it because it requires faith to receive. Thank you.